All right, we just saw the greatest comeback in NFL history. Absolutely incredible what happened. I want to talk about it all. Why they got down in the first place, what they did wrong there, but then what they did right to allow them to eventually be able to win this game in overtime. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right, let's start off with this play. We have to talk about what the hell happened in that first half that got them down so much in the first place. Part of it I really did feel like was just a bit of, some timing issues. Something like this is a good example of, it's just like a weird play that like they just weren't quite hitting on. Like KJ Osborne, he was open all game, it felt like. Every time I saw him, and by the way, I feel like every time I watch the Vikings, he pops on screen. He's had a good season. He's done a lot for them, playing his role very effectively. But his route is going to be that route over the middle. That's where he's going to try to get to. Watch how when Cousins takes the snap, you see Osborne is open, and also worth mentioning the situation. This is a 3rd down and 6. This is open, and Cousins is looking in that direction. I mean, this should be a completion for a 1st down right here. It looks like maybe some of the pressure kind of threw his timing off, and maybe he was expecting Osborne to stop a little bit earlier than he did. I don't know. But again, just kind of that weird not being quite on the same page. They had the perfect play concept to beat that type of coverage, and it didn't work due to just kind of guys not executing properly. And that's a big part of how they were, why they struggled so much in the first half. Something like this is another great example where it's going to be zone coverage. And again, just having a player kind of sit down underneath, right? Pretty simple, nothing too fancy here. It's Jalen Reagor who is there, and I think what's going to happen with Reagor and Cousins is, Reagor's, kind of I don't know how many reps he and Cousins have with each other. It seems like there's going to be, again, another just kind of weird communication thing where Reagor's going to start to go towards the middle a little bit, whereas Cousins, I think, is expecting him maybe to go to the outside or at least stay where he's at. Watch as they kind of move over, and on a 3rd down and 3, instead of getting the 1st down, it's a pick 6, and I mean, those couple of plays like that's huge. That last play was a difference in possession. This play, not just a difference of possession, but also giving the other team 7 points on top of it. I mean, a couple of those plays turn around. The first half does look very different, and then you throw in, the block punt touchdown. That's kind of, I think, a big part of how they struggled so much early on. Now going over here, I should give some credit to the Colts defense as well. I thought Stephon Gilmore did a very good job on Justin Jefferson. That's what's happening here is Gilmore is the white zone I have to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You have Jefferson running a route that's going to essentially be a one-on-one matchup against Gilmore. Watch how when this play begins, Cousins is, he said, hey, one-on-one matchup with Jefferson, let's go. But the issue is Gilmore is in position. Watch Gilmore do a great job of, knocking the ball away. Hey, it's Stephon Gilmore. That's a big thing that he does. That's, he's been very good for the Colts this season. He's been a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing Colts year. But then here come the Vikings all of a sudden finding a way to get back into this game. I talked about earlier how KJ Osborne seemingly getting open all game. Well, part of what they did was just starting to hit the open guys. There was a play early on in the first half as well where KJ Osborne was wide open. But like this play, it's going to be zone coverage, kind of similar to that play I showed you earlier. A little bit different, though, because he's running a deeper route. It's actually going to be, I believe a safety is going to screw this up. I can't see exactly on the screen, but safety is going to move in. But watch how when Cousins takes the snap, he's going to throw down the field, and you see that there's just no safety there, because I believe this is supposed to be a 2-safety deep coverage, allowing Osborne to get wide open. Again, other guys get attention that can, make room for guys like Osborne and guys like Hawkinson to get open. As you see, Osborne's going to make the grab and do a great job after the catch, picking up a ton of yards and helping the Vikings, get back in it here, as they didn't have any points, but they needed some of those splash plays, and this is how they were able to do it. Also, something like this. I got to talk about Justin Jefferson, who really came alive in the second half, where, again, was having a tough day against Gilmore, especially with that, that hit Gilmore would put on him, which we can get into later. But for now, this is just Justin Jefferson stuff. As I said, Stephon Gilmore, still an incredible corner, having a really good game. Watch what Jefferson is going to do to him, though. Watch Jefferson kind of fake as though he's going to the outside, but now he's faking as though he's going to the inside. And typically that's what you do, right? You fake one way, go the other, or you just go one way. Very rare for you to fake one way, fake another way, and then go a third way. But you know what? If it's Jefferson, why not let him be creative? I remember this is something that the Raiders did a lot with Hunter Renfrow last year, where they kind of just let Hunter Renfrow do whatever he wanted, sort of go out and just run these creative routes. And it really allowed Renfrow to kind of, be one of the better receivers last year because of that stuff. Well, hey, why not do that with your superstar wide receiver in Justin Jefferson, right? You see Jefferson right here. I paused it specifically right here. You're thinking he's going over the middle, right? I don't know how he's going to move so quickly, but watch how quickly he gets back to going towards the sideline. Look, it's instant. It's literally instant. He's able to make the move and get into the end zone for a touchdown on 3rd down and 2. So again, part of how you're able to make a comeback here when you're down by a bunch and then all of a sudden make it a game again is because you have stars like a Justin Jefferson who can go out and he can do this play, the fourth down play that would happen because there wasn't a touchdown on the fumble recovery, which there should have been. I made a whole video talking about how that was a frustrating call, but again, check out that video if you want to hear more thoughts on it. We'd have a 4th down and 15. I was wondering, what do you do here? Like, you could punt if you really wanted to in this spot, but I like the idea of going for it. You don't want to punt. It's just like it's almost a pride thing at that point. You want to give your team a chance here, although knowing what we know now, they wouldn't score here, but would score later. Still, going for it I think is the right call. Colts running a cover 2 man here, which I thought was the right call in this one. I think the Vikings were expecting zone, because look, you see that Indianapolis, is really covering this well because Minnesota sent 3 receivers deep down the field thinking, hey, cover 2, let's send 3 receivers down the field. I think KJ Osborne over the middle, that's where Cousins was looking. I actually think it was a good play call by Minnesota. They got fooled by a good play call by Indianapolis, so give the Colts some credit. But here, Cousins is in trouble. Nothing is open. Cousins is going to step up. It seemed like more so just because like that's what he was, kind of had to do more so than that's what he wanted to do. He gets to this spot. I got to be honest, I don't know if he gets to the 30-yard line where he needed to be if he does get past, this section of the field. However, he does not. He does get tackled right there. They are not able to pick up the first down on a 4th down. Hey, helped him out with a couple yards in field position, which might have been the difference, actually, now that you think about it. But, at the time, felt like it was over. But the Colts went for a 4th down, did not get it. Vikings get the ball at the 35-yard line. I believe they actually consider this the 36-yard line, whatever, 35.5-yard line. They're going to just run a quick Dalvin Cook screen pass. I don't think this was meant to go for too many yards. They're just saying, hey, we have 2.5 minutes. Let's, get the ball in Dalvin Cook's hands. Hopefully we can try to just methodically move down the field, trying to score the 8 points we need. And right off the bat, Cousins is able to hit Cook, and this play works. I mean, you see very well blocked, and he's able to get to this spot where I feel like most halfbacks just run to the outside, pick up the 12 yards that are available, and then that's it. Instead, Cook cuts over the middle, and he gets to this spot, and look at him just speed past everybody. Gets all the way down here to the point where now time is just completely not a factor whatsoever in terms of they don't have to worry about not having enough time. They have plenty of time despite the no timeouts. They're in this spot where, again, I think most halfbacks just run forward until they get tackled. But Cook, once again, he sees the field so well. He makes the juke move and is able to eventually run over a guy, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Talk about a highlight reel level play of highlight reel level plays. And they would go on to convert on the 2-point conversion as well, which would, after a couple of stops, send the game to overtime. They would go on to win in overtime. Just an absolutely bonkers game. Give a lot of credit to them for fighting back, not giving up. And hey, they're in the playoffs, so good for them.